Welcome to another Wall Street Informer production on WSI TV.
It's time for a brand new episode of WSI TV. I'm Sean Bauer, Chief Editor of Wall Street Informer on wallstreetinformer.com. I'm joined by what I call the penny stock king, our market analyst, Jordan Bishop. How's it going, Jordan?
Pretty good, Sean. How about yourself?
Very, very well.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, we're just getting results in for our versus round, where we go head-to-head with a stock pick each.
Right.
And my Calgon Corp, CCC, barely came out on top over your Chesapeake Energy.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to take another loss this week. If you saw last week, I just got hammered with punishments.
That was great. Hot dog hat.
Right.
Got a bucket of water dumped on you.
Yeah, you have to check it out if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Very embarrassing. So we're going to go ahead and step forward, and we're going to reveal my next punishment for next week. And hopefully by the next time you see us, I'll have a hang of this thing, and my stocks will be doing a little better than Sean's. But although I did win the first week,
right? Don't sell yourself short. You won the first week.
Yeah.
And actually, last week's or the last versus round, you came up just barely short. What did you? You lost by 0.03%.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
Very close.
Yeah, that was your CLD pick. I actually made a note of it because now that same pick just 2 weeks later is actually up over 20%.
Yeah, I saw that today as I was looking at the charts, and I thought, it's just that points out timing is everything with these things. It's everything. You could get a good stock. It's not a good stock unless you get in at the right time.
No, exactly right. And we constrain ourselves to a 2 week period here, just for the purposes of WSI TV.
Of course.
But of course, you would have written that out as a live pick. And if you're playing along, you're now up over 20%. So
right.
That was a great pick. Thankfully for me, I actually beat it barely. So are you ready to take that next punishment then?
Let's go.
Let's go find out what it is.
All right.
All right, it's time to take the next throw for Jordan's punishment as part of his versus loss. So here we go. Barely got it in Bartender. All right, so Jordan, thanks to my 5% winner with CCC, you're now Bartender. So how are you feeling about that punishment?
Well, after last week, that 20% tip you gave me.
Right.
I might as well do it every week, but it's not too bad. I'll take it on the chin, and you'll have your whiskey glass full all next episode, all next week.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, so that was a Bartender punishment. Jordan, as you just said, all week long he's going to be Bartender for me, filling up my glass all week, and then you get to enjoy it with us throughout next week's episode. So we'll get to that when we get an update on the picks we're going to make later this episode.
Right.
All right, so let's move on then.
Yeah.
Now, one thing we really wanted to bring up is what we're seeing with the market right now, where I guess all three major indexes are.
Yeah.
The S&P 500, Dow Jones, and the NASDAQ. They're all just incredibly overvalued, incredibly overbought, it would seem.
They're flying, and the two options we have right now are, the two corrective options we have right now are either the stock comes down and meets the 200-day, or the stocks wait until the 200-day meets the price. And I don't think the second option looks like it's going to happen, because it just keeps flying up, as you see in the chart. And I just don't see the 200-day. It's an average of the past 200 days, so there's no way it would fly up that quickly.
No, that would it would just be unrealistic.
Yeah.
And there's really two things we talk about. What we always want to make sure we're noting first and foremost is the primary trend, so the big overriding trend, which is clearly upward right now.
Yeah.
But within those big bull and bear markets we kind of just refer to them as mini bulls and mini bears, where the market's going to fluctuate in between that long rise.
Yeah.
And if that happens here, which it seems like that's the natural cycle for the market to take, that's a long way down even for a healthy correction.
It is. And if you remember, November 7th was obviously election day. So, there was a lot of controversy behind that, and there was a lot of the market will crash, the market will boom, back and forth. So, and it's taken off. So, it's got to come a long way down to hit that 200-day again.
Right, which actually, as you pointed out correctly earlier, it sticks to this 200 line normally.
Yeah.
It bounces above it or below it, but it normally sticks really close.
Yeah.
And now you can just see, that's crazy high above that 200.
And it has to drop. The price of the Dow Jones specifically would have to drop 10% in order for it to reach the 200-day.
That's a big number.
And the last time that happened was in 2008 during the housing market crash. But it's it's coming down and it's still going to be above its 200-day, and if that 10% drop happens.
Right.
So, I mean, 2008 was a different story because it fell underneath it.
Yeah, this would, right, so we're saying two different things. If it falls that 10% back to 200, for the long-term outlook, it's still a healthy bull market, a healthy upward market. But for that short term, when it is falling, 10% is a really long way for a major index, and that could wreak havoc on any portfolio in the short term. So this is really, a cautionary tale right now.
And it makes me question too, though, if it does fall that 10%, the momentum behind that fall, how quickly it happens, is it going to take it over the 200-day? Because usually when you're watching a stock with a 200-day moving average, you don't want it to hit the 200-day on a vertical, right? Because it's going to pierce through it. Most of the time, it will pierce. A lot
of times, exactly. So, exactly.
Kind of something to keep an eye on if the market decides to slip. I don't believe it'll be a slow come down.
Right. So, yeah, I think I would agree with you there, Jordan. Right. So, yeah, be ready for that. Be on your toes, ready to close out some positions if you need to.
Yeah, or look into buying stocks that short the market, which we've touched on before, and we'll touch on again in our stock services. We'll always keep you up to date. But
of course.
There's many ways you can deal with it.
Yeah, get ready for that.
Right.
Now for next up, we wanted to do our Around the World in 80 Seconds segment. It's going to be an imaginary 80 seconds in my head, so it's going to be very far off. But you had a topic you wanted to bring up.
Yes, I did. Very interestingly, I read something the other day. Germany is recalling all its gold that it has placed around the world. Now, to give you a little backstory, during Hitler's rise to power, Germany, they exported all their gold to mainly to New York, London, and Paris in case.
Soviet Russia,
political turmoil with Germany itself and Russia, the idea of Russia actually invading Germany.
Right.
So, 70 plus years on now, Germany are finally recalling all their gold. And I read something, maybe it's because there's some skeptics in Germany that don't believe the gold is still there. It might have been spent. I heard that some of this is kind of an action to promote some confidence and loyalty within Germany itself, within its own people. Because the EU is going under such a difficult time right now. Right. It seems like one thing to the next. Exactly. It's just another major crisis about to happen. Right. So, the reality of it is the gold in New York was hidden in a subterranean vault on Manhattan Island. Yeah, crazy. So it wasn't even accessible to the public or anyone. Of course. Yeah. The craziest of things. No one could have robbed it. It was completely secure. So Germany are now pulling that back, and I've got the figure here. They actually have they had $13 billion in gold abroad. They're looking to bring all of that back. I believe they're going to store some in London still. That might be the only city because London, England is on the pound. Germany's on the euro. Right. Another reason they had it exported was in case they needed to make any emergency purchases, and they had it in France, they could just say, take X amount of gold, or in New York, take X amount of gold for whatever services they needed. Sure. That ended up not being the case. There was some stolen back by the Nazis when the Nazis reached Paris in 1940. But the story goes on. But basically, they've already brought 642 tons of that gold back to Germany. And that makes me question, how strong do they feel about the EU? That was a question I had for you. It seems like with the Brexit already happening, the UK pulling out of the EU. Looks like other countries are sort of looking that way. We're looking at Greece, we're looking at Italy. It's just going to start this chain reaction, or it might. I'm not saying it will. It could, and this is it's just you're saying this is a possibility that Germany is preparing for right now. So we have to look at what's going on in the economies around the world, and we might be taking shots in the dark a little bit, but it's a good assessment, and if we read the chart. I've got the chart of the euro up here, just to gauge. As you may well know, the euro has been taking heavy hits lately. Yeah. Especially since Brexit, as you mentioned. Right. That took a hard hit, and Germany's a big supporter of the EU. They use the euro, but it makes me second guess what's in store for the future. Yeah, they're propping up a lot of countries themselves with their own economy. So, exactly. When do they get tired of it? Yeah, so that gold will help them. It'll help secure German belief in their government, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm interested to keep a close eye on this one, though. Definitely. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure we'll come back to that as needed.
All right, so now it's time for round 4 of Versus. You ready,
Yeah,
Jordan?
I think so.
Again, Versus, we just go head-to-head with one stock pick. We track results over 2 weeks, and then the loser, as we saw with Jordan earlier, has to do the Wheel of Misfortune. So you got your pick for us?
Yes, I do. I'm going to go with HA, Hawaiian Holdings. It's a financial holding company for Hawaiian Airlines. They're sitting at $50.35 right now. I'm straying away from my penny stocks.
Yeah, that's weird from the penny stock pick there. All right.
We'll see how dynamic my my stock analysis is with this one.
All right, let's see how it goes. I'm going to try to continue my very, very short win streak with Univar Inc. So the ticker is UNVR. It's at $29.50 right now. And it just distributes specialty chemical products worldwide. A very solid looking chart. As you know, we're technical analysts here. So that one's looking very attractive to me. So that's going to be my pick for round 4 Versus.
Yeah, looking very good. Hopefully it's a tight race and the better man wins.
Hopefully, we'll see. Yeah. All right, now I want to throw it to you guys, the viewers here. Down below, I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you have any questions for us, just in the comments there, let us know any new ideas you have for Versus punishments and things like that.
And no question or comment, it couldn't be too simple or too complex.
Yeah,
just let us know, and we're willing to tackle it.
Right, we want to answer any questions you have.
Exactly.
Also, please subscribe to the WSI TV YouTube channel if you haven't already. There should be a subscribe button up on your screen right now. Just go ahead and click that. It should be really easy to sign up to subscribe to that channel. And finally, if you enjoyed this episode, just give us a like, hit the thumbs up button, and then we'll all be good to go.
Yeah.
So do you have any final thoughts for us on this episode?
I just wanted to make one final point. On Wednesday, all 3 of the major U.S. indexes, the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ hit 5 straight days of record highs.
Wow.
The NASDAQ hit 7. It had two before. And the last time that happened wasn't in my lifetime. It happened in January 1992, a little while ago. So it's just interesting to know. We had a down day on Thursday, but the market's looking strong.
Yeah, definitely is. All right, well, Jordan, thanks for joining me again.
Thank you, Sean.
You guys, viewers, thank you for being with us again, and we will speak to you next time. Cheers.
Thanks for watching another Wall Street Informer production on WSI TV. Be sure to visit wallstreetinformer.com, where you can become a member for free and gain instant access to the secrets of market millionaires via the Wall Street Informer Vault. So go ahead and claim this gift for free now at wallstreetinformer.com.